I've been on a low information diet for the last few months, and I've been really diligent about only consuming very either entertaining and comedic information or information that is very pertinent to me. So I've read almost no internet articles. Of course, I don't watch TV or the news. And I haven't even read that many books recently because I'm so focused on my own creative output, on writing and making these videos and all that kinds of stuff because I'm creating so much. I'm producing instead of consuming. But there is one medium that I've been consuming on pretty much a daily basis, and that is podcasts because I can listen to them while I'm walking, I listen to them while I'm driving. So I integrate those while I'm doing things like walking or driving. So that's why I've been listening to them. And it's a really good use of your time. So if you're commuting every day or something like that, or you like to walk outside, that's a great time to listen to podcasts or audiobooks because you can learn, you can be entertained, you can get new information, and they'll help you generate good ideas. So I'm making this video to share with you my 5 favorite podcasts. So these are the ones that I really love listening to and I find tremendous value in them. Okay? So the first one is the Aubrey Marcus podcast. And he is the CEO of the company Onnit, which is a phenomenal company. And their slogan basically sums up his podcast too. It's total human optimization. So on the Aubrey Marcus podcast, he brings on guests and they have really fascinating conversations talking about consciousness and the nature of reality and plant medicine and everything human optimization. And he's just a really great guy. From the first time, like I've never met him, but from the first time I listened to him, I could just feel how genuine he is, and he really resonates with me as a person. We have very, very similar views on things, and I feel like we interact with the world in similar ways. So his podcast is fascinating to listen to. If you like spirituality, if you like consciousness, if you like health, if you like exploring new ideas, you should really check out his podcast. And the next one is the Joe Rogan Experience. Joe Rogan, you've probably heard of him. He's a comedian known for hosting the show Fear Factor, but his podcast is it's one of the biggest podcasts out there because two main things. He's so damn funny. He's such a hilarious guy, and he explores anything, any and every idea. It's always exploring. He treats the world as like an idea playground. So he brings on guests from various backgrounds, everything from mixed martial artists to physicists and everyone in between. So it's a really interesting to listen to and really entertaining because Joe Rogan is not only smart and hungry to learn, but he's hilarious as well. So there's wit involved, and it's funny and you're learning at the same time. So you're laughing and learning. And anything that can make you laugh is a good investment of time. So you're getting that plus it's tremendously insightful. And he always has interesting guests on. So that's the second one. And another one is the Model Health Show. So this is Sean Stevenson is his name. And this show it's phenomenally crafted. Sean Stevenson is a master at what he's doing with podcasting. So he takes each show is usually one specific health topic, and he really breaks it down in a concise manner, and he eloquently puts it in a way that most people can understand. So he takes these complex topics, or these he's also good at taking these woo-woo topics that people often talk about, and breaking them down with with scientific validity at the same time. So you know how like spiritual people will talk about grounding, walking barefoot on earth and how beneficial that is for your health. Well, he takes that and he breaks down why it works with the electron exchange and how we're made of bioelectricity and things like that. So he's really good at breaking these concepts down. And he has like a master class on water, a master class on fasting. So he takes these concepts and he distills it like so well. So I highly recommend that if you're interested in health, and he does it from a holistic perspective. So he's familiar with mostly how reality works, the nature of consciousness and that, but his focus is health. So he has that holistic perspective, but he breaks things down, and everything that he expresses is also scientifically sound as well. He's a really smart guy. So it's a phenomenal podcast. And the fourth one is the Rewild Yourself podcast. So that is by Daniel Vitalis, and it's another fascinating one. I keep using the term fascinating because all of them are. So this concept of rewilding, it's like transcending human domestication, because right now it's kind of obvious that we are domesticated humans. We're not living how our bodies are designed to live and function. So he addresses so many things from that perspective of transcending domestication and rewilding ourselves. So he also goes into topics of health and breaks them down pretty eloquently himself. Things like foraging for spring water and why drinking spring water is important. Things like sexuality, things like history, his story, things like epigenetics. So he explores every facet of this concept of rewilding, of using the things that are beneficial from our ancestry and applying them to modern life. He's not saying everyone has to go in the woods and try to live like we did thousands of years ago, but it's what concepts from those societies or from our ancestors, what things can we learn from them and bring into these modern times to help us transcend this domestication and all of the problems that are arising out of it. So that's another very, very good podcast to listen to, and I highly recommend it. He's a fascinating guy himself, and he's pretty damn entertaining too. And the last one is the Tim Ferriss Show. So Tim Ferriss is the author of several books, like The 4-Hour Workweek, The 4-Hour Body, The 4-Hour Chef, all of which are phenomenal. And in his podcast, he basically takes experts in various areas and asks them really good questions and breaks down their mastery. So he's a person that's really analytical and really good at asking questions and really good at exploring reality, success, and lifestyle. So you get a lot of gems with what makes people successful and the mindset of successful people. And it's not only monetary success. Like he brings on a diverse array of guests. And yeah, it's all really interesting stuff. Like he even goes into meditation pretty much every episode, a lot of lifestyle design, health and fitness, entrepreneurship and business, technology, really everything under the sun. And he's another one that breaks things down, and he's really analytical. So you can learn so much from each podcast because he systematically breaks things down from people's habits, people's mindsets, and all of that kind of stuff. Tim Ferriss he has a fascinating mind. And yeah, so those are the 5 podcasts that I like listening to. And what makes podcasts amazing is it's like you're a fly on the wall. You're sitting in on these amazing conversations. So it's a unique experience, and it's unscripted. It's not like radio, like how everything's scripted and it's so fake and inauthentic. A podcast is like a natural flowing conversation that you get to listen to. So that's what makes it amazing, and it makes it a great experience. So I highly recommend you check those podcasts out. You'll probably learn something, you'll be entertained, and you'll have fun with it. All right? Peace, peace, much love, and one love, baby.